You,
What's up,
what was
man?
taking you so long?
Are you cereal?
Nah, I've been called worse. I'm just messing.
Oh yeah, I imagine, bro. What are
What are
you
you trying to
doing?
say, man?
I'm not trying to say nothing, bro. I'm just saying you took all right.
Funny guy, man.
I'm smoking a cigar right now, man. I'm gonna plug. Can I plug my cigar?
Hey, let me know when you're done, man.
No, I gotta. Me plug it. I want to talk about it.
Oh, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I got an Arturo Fuente, Grand Reserva. Beautiful. That's it. That's my plug.
Is this what you get off on, cigars or
Man, you don't even want to know. No, but like, listen, my thing is cigars, man. I like cigars and coffee.
cigars and coffee?
Mm.
You can't function without them or what?
I can function without cigars. I just like to smoke them.
Or they make you? They put you like in a happy place or something, or what's the deal here?
No, well, I don't get into like a happy place. I just like to smoke just to relax. The
Just to
nicotine,
relax.
yeah, it's nice.
So if someone would have an argument with you and they tell you to cool out or relax or something, is that going to be the first thing you look, forward to or what?
It could be. Or video games. I mean, cigars to me are a form of meditation, man. It's like smoking.
Oh, you focus on your breath while you're smoking, right?
Yeah, you gotta puff. You gotta focus on your breath.
I understand. I understand exactly what's going on here.
You do? Listen, man. It's like I just took a nice puff. Just relax a little bit. Get a little buzz.
Cool yourself out, man, after the day you had.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, earlier though, I was noticing that I feel more attracted to colors though.
Yeah. What? That's why I have all these different colored bandanas and I wear different colors just to mess with stuff, just to try it out.
I think they're linked to the chakras inside the body too, right?
There is because each chakra is represented by a color.
And they boost the serotonin levels, the
Mhm.
mood levels. Yeah, I
So
just always think you were crazy for wearing those bandanas. I'd be like, dang, that's something else.
yeah, this guy's a fucking hack. This guy.
Oh, you probably been called worse then, right?
Yeah, I've been called the N word before.
You?
Yeah,
Oh man, let's get back to the topic now.
yeah, it's true though. No, no. I got called neighbor.
Oh my god, terrible, terrible, terrible.
All right, what are we talking about today, man?
You want to talk about these colors or what?
Yeah, let's talk about the colors because each chakra represents or has a color that represents it.
So I was looking at the like the hippie shirts would be like the first form of thought that you would take towards. I guess looking at more like freely flowing colors or whatnot.
Yeah, like tie dye.
Yeah, those two, the ones with the patterns in them. And I never really noticed it. Like, well, it's not that I never really noticed, but I never paid attention to how they say like everything was vibrating, and then like certain colors they vibrate on like a different spectrum of frequency.
They do, man. That's why blue and aquamarine calm you down, and red makes you a little hype. You know what I mean? Or red makes you hungry. Think about it. All the restaurant chains that have red in them, man, they all have red in them. McDonald's, Red Lobster.
But now when you put it that way, but
Red
yeah, I
makes you
heard I
hungry.
heard blue could be good for giving presentations too as well,
That's why the
because
Smurfs
it
are
makes
really
you a
good at
better
talking in public speaking.
yeah, it makes you a better communicator.
Yeah. No, blue. The thing about it like this, bro. Like when they give the debates, I
Hmm.
just had a moment right there. When they do the debates, they wear different color shirts and ties for a reason.
I know. I just now thought about that as well too.
They all have
Even
to be from a
seminars,
certain
right?
size.
I think color therapy is what I came across, and it states that you experience differences in colors, and so they stimulate different processes that control like hormones and imbalances in the brain.
That's why all the UPS people, man, are always pissed off because they got a brown uniform. We got purple. Purple's a good color.
Yeah, I need to start wearing more vibrant colors.
Want me to bring a bandana in?
Yeah, man, I'm getting a haircut, man. Maybe I could be just like you now.
Yeah.
Think
When are
about
you
look
getting
at him.
that done? When are you getting that done?
Either today or tomorrow.
Are
I
you
think I
gonna
should just
shave
go
it
for
off?
the
You gonna
I think I
shave
should just
it?
go for yeah. I think I might go for like the full bald look.
Man, do what you want, man. That's the one thing you have control over is your hair. You can do whatever you want with it.
It's like I said, like you shouldn't feel the need to conform to. You shouldn't feel the need to comply to social conformities of others, how they base their thoughts on you.
Yeah, I'm not. Oh no, I'm not telling you to do whatever you want. I don't give a fuck.
No, 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 no. That's what I'm saying. Like this is what my thought process is about.
Yeah,
Like, if I get a haircut, I know if I go somewhere and the person, if they known you for long enough, they're gonna think that it's outrageous, because it doesn't. It seems like out of character that you would do such a thing.
like when I shave my head.
Yeah, they probably like, geez, man, this guy,
This guy's gonna go burn a cross or something. That's what they were thinking.
they gotta go blow up these old ladies at these churches.
Yeah, set him on a rocket ship.
Man.
Lord Jesus.
I know. I think it's perfectly fine for people to practice being themselves at times. Just
It's
to
a,
feel
it's a
like there's
matter of
nothing.
finding yourself too, man. You got to find yourself.
Yeah, and that's why ages are linked to different stages that you go through. As I call them chapters of your life. Like each year you ascend, and each year you take like little learning processes or little points or trials or whatever you want to call them. You take it and you incorporate it to you as a whole. And you should apply it to your own mentality and mindset. Like this should be nothing you should look forward to by looking to change the past. When you think about it, you should always be in the present.
That's the
The
whole
past is
problem, man. Like, what if there's a theory that the past, the present, and the future are all one
simultaneously.
existing?
They help keep you tethered when you think about it.
They do, man, because I think about the past a lot, like with the past relationships with people and how they
Oh
went
yeah,
wrong or went right.
I think you just gotta come to the agreement that you can't change it. That you can't change it and it's meant to teach you something, but you won't be able to see it at that particular time because you're too clouded of thought.
See, the lesson might not even be, you might not even need the lesson for a long period of time that is teaching you. You might not realize it. You know what I mean?
Definitely, but at the same time, it's like everything is teaching you. Even people around you that you classify as negative. Like you have people that you don't want to be around, but they're constantly teaching you to either be more comfortable around yourself or just maybe get out of your comfort zone and
That's the whole thing.
be more compassionate towards others.
Compassion is something we should all strive for, but I don't think people can feel it, man. I don't think a lot of people feel compassion. They just feel joy.
Does that make them a bad person?
No, I'm not judging them whether they're good or bad. I'm just saying that they mistake compassion
Yeah,
for
because you
joy.
yeah, because you seem like you do a lot of. Never mind.
What were you saying? Don't get
You
me
seem like
started.
you. You seem like you do a lot of judging these days, man.
I judge everybody, man.
It's your right, man. You have the option. You have the choice to observe anything that you want.
You can
If you
listen.
don't,
You have the freedom to judge whatever you want to judge about somebody, whether it's good or bad.
you could do that.
Like what happened today. I'm like it happened today at work. I'm gonna change all the names so we can talk about it. All right.
On you.
All right. Tracy wanted to help uh, Gloria, but Gloria said that she doesn't need help doing a certain job. So they went into Andre's office and
Oh my god.
they had a disagreement about it, and then Gloria came out and was like, Stacy doesn't want me to help her, but then Stacy says she doesn't need help. She was like,
Stacy.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I better stop getting with Stacy before Stacy power bombs somebody, man.
Stacy and I are cool. Stacy helps me all the time with stuff. You know what I mean? She helps me out.
I mean, it should be a natural instinct for you to want to help someone without a reward, like how we were talking about earlier. That's the only thing that really, I guess, differentiate between good and bad. I guess.
Yeah, but people constantly want rewards. Why do they want to give themselves a reward?
You think people just want the title labeled over themselves so they can feel good? Because that helps your self esteem when you think about it. That helps your self esteem when you know that you're getting approval by someone. And this is
Yeah,
even it goes as deep as being programmed from school though. Like when we were kids and we were in school, we were programmed to constantly appease and appeal to other people, and if we're not getting the constant level of praise or whatever.
you don't that praise is going to make you sick, man. The constant praise. It's going to turn you into a little baby.
It gives a lot of us a sense of entitlement. Yeah, I see what you're saying there.
Like you have to have hardships in your life to grow. You know what I mean?
A lot of people don't look at hardships as growing though.
You're
A lot
going
of
to
people
grow
just look at it.
regardless, whether you recognize it or not. You're going to grow as a person. You just have to recognize that shit.
They just look at it as predicaments that life just throws at you for no particular reason because they feel that it's cynical.
There is always a reason, man. You have to learn from it. You have to. Or you should learn at least. You should try to.
That's like that philosophical view that they said if the tree falls in the middle of the forest, if no one's around to hear it.
Yeah, but there's always some that there doesn't need anybody around to hear it to make sound.
Oh my god.
What if a squirrel's there? The squirrel the ability to hear.
So would I be in the right and wrong and question it if it even fell in the first place? Because how would I know if I have no perceptual sense of it even falling besides being told?
If you were like Helen Keller, you could feel the vibration from the ground of the tree falling, even though you can't see it or hear it.
That's a very that's a that's an interesting, how you say it, interesting piece of literature, I guess, right there.
It's true, man. Like, how did Beethoven? Beethoven lost his hearing when he was midlife. He had to put his face to the ground to hear the vibration of the notes, so he could still play.
Oh, it's sort of like echolocation, right? Like using one sense to losing one sense to use another, maybe to navigate. But you get what I'm saying, like in a
Yeah, but
similar sense.
they're using their vibration on the ground. They're using their head or their feet to do that. They're not using their eyes or their ears. You know what I mean? Weird sense,
Do,
sense of touch.
do you think we fall into a sinkhole when we try to pick like a moral code to abide by in life?
Yeah, man. I don't.
Like there's no real possible. Well, I can't say there's no real possible way, but there's always there's always setbacks of trying to abide by like maybe like a certain religion or maybe like some sort of political belief.
I mean, you can lose yourself in religion, and you can lose yourself in politics. Everybody's losing themselves now over Trump. They're losing their minds, whether they like him or hate him. They're losing their minds over this guy. And like, can you imagine Jesus looking at the Crusades?
The war was being fought over him.
Yeah, or wars being fought over Christianity or Islam. Can you imagine Jesus looking over that like, what the hell did I do?
You can
All I
expand it a
wanted to
little
do
bit
was
more,
die for
man.
your sins, and then I caused you guys to go kill each other over me,
The
over my
things the
beliefs.
things that we fight and bicker about and even kill each other about are some of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard in my life. Like I know you've seen on the news where they had that story of the person getting killed over the Popeyes the chicken sandwich. You gotta. If you don't laugh at that, man. If you don't laugh at that, this is how they control you, man. If you don't laugh at that, this is how they control you.
Have to
They.
laugh at that. What happened? I didn't hear about this story.
I didn't read too much or get into too much in depth of that one, but they keep promoting the sounds, and every time they do is like something like malevolent is happening on the side. When you notice it, like the first time they promoted it, right? Well, not the first time, but this is I guess like the second time or whatever. It was like a couple months ago, maybe 2, 3 months ago. But when they had promoted it that time, the Amazon rainforest was burning down. Now this time, no, it was like another time too as well. That someone was holding up the Popeyes and he was holding a gun to his face, and then he got mad and started. I don't know if he started shooting him or hitting the cashier with the gun or whatever
Yeah,
because they weren't making enough sandwiches or they ran out of sandwiches. Now this time, I found out somebody got killed.
that's crazy, man. People are stupid. They shouldn't be allowed. Some of these people shouldn't be allowed to have guns, man. They shouldn't. They're that ridiculous.
You think they put something in the foods to make these people act like this?
Yeah, it's called sugar. We train our
Oh
kids
man.
young, man. We train them for Halloween is the time to get candy and just gorge yourself on candy every year. So you just wait for it. You anticipate that as a kid. It's crack.
What's your thoughts on Halloween?
It's just a tradition. Doesn't it go back to paganism?
Yeah, that they it's basically more based on spell casting and rituals or whatnot. Like sometimes
Yeah,
you'll get
like
witches that will perform
that kind of
ceremonies
stuff.
and
It's all right though, man. It's kids like to dress up and have fun, but the whole candy thing is crazy. You're gonna get these kids just wanting candy constantly.
wanting candy. You're
Like
gonna give
Aaron
these kids
Carter,
too much.
bro. Aaron Carter, you remember him? He made a song about it.
I think I might have heard it.
I want candy for these, and look at him now, man. He's a drug addict. His life is horrible, all because of that
Uh,
song.
but you're gonna give the kids too much exploration of freedom when you think about it though. Like, what happens if you're not watching the kids, right? And you let them go out to trick or treat by themselves. They knock on the door and then like the stranger just pulls them into the house, and that's gonna be the last you ever see of your kids
Yeah, it's horrible.
because you wanted them to indulge in something that's that you think was so innocent.
That's like dressing your kid up as a toilet seat and sending your kid to R. Kelly's house. It's a really bad idea.
Oh my god,
It's
this guy's
bad, man.
crazy, man.
You can't let these kids go out by themselves, man. They're gonna get attacked. They're gonna get kidnapped. What about that one girl that was kidnapped a couple of weeks ago? They didn't find her. She was out in the park,
How old was she?
5 years old. They still didn't find her yet. She's probably dead. Like it's horrible to say, but she hasn't been seen. She was at the park with her
Man,
parents.
that's the mentality of parents nowadays. What you expect? Like I seen worse. I seen little kids waiting at the bus stops. They probably be like 2, 3 years old, around five, maybe two, just waiting at the bus stops by themselves. Like it's easier for somebody to
Oh,
just go
you
throw
can
them in a
easily
van,
take
just
kids
pull
like
off.
that, man. They're not gonna resist. It's
It's a
ridiculous.
parenting issue, man. It's a parenting issue. It's like I said, like they always try to difference in approach on how to be a good parent. Everybody want to be classified as a good parent.
I
Nobody
don't
wants to
think they
lead by
give a
example
fuck
no
though. I
more.
don't even think it's that, man. I know. I really don't. I really think some of these parents just don't give a fuck. They're more worried about their boyfriends or their girlfriends being happy. Like, I'll abuse my kid if my man likes it, you know, or my girl. My
You'd
girl will like
be
my kid. I don't like my kid either.
you'd be surprised at what people would do to be to be labeled as such. I guess.
They'll do a lot
Like I said, like if you let the kids explore a little bit more, they're gonna start to have a more defiance within themselves.
because they're going to think of themselves as independent. But you're not independent when you're unless you raise yourself. You know what I mean?
How often is that willing to go well?
It. I was watching a Floyd Mayweather documentary. He said he
Hmm.
raised himself. His father didn't help him with anything. He raised himself as a kid.
I mean, what you expect? The guy grew up on a fast life.
Fast life. Yeah, he's still going fast too.
I mean, you think he's a good boxer at least, man?
Yeah, I do. His defense is impregnable. Oh wait, that's the wrong guy. but it's true.
Oh my god.
His defense is really good, man. He slips punches. You can't hit the guy with boxing gloves on, at least.
Where does everybody make this notation that they don't like him because he's running around those rings? Because from my understanding,
That's called
yeah, you
boxing. That's
you have to
defense.
make the inference that this guy broke both of his hands, right? So it's like you can only expect him to do so much.
He did break both his hands, but I mean, that's his style, though. Like they hate his style because people don't know what they're talking about. People are stupid. You don't go into a boxing ring and just start swinging. I mean, Mike Tyson did it, but Mike Tyson was smart about it. You know what I mean? He had the peekaboo style. Where he would just duck under punches and be elusive.
Like
Floyd,
what happens when you keep just throwing your head out there cocky over and over and you keep getting your head just rocked back and forth. You're going to develop like some sort of brain disease, right?
you're gonna turn into like what happened to Muhammad Ali. He got CTE from getting hit in the head. Parkinson's, I think. He got
Yeah,
Parkinson's.
because he used to fight like the hardest of hitters. What was it like Sonny Liston?
Yeah, all those heavyweights. George Foreman, right? Didn't he fight Foreman?
Yeah, he fought for me. And he used to just, like not put up his combat stance or whatever and just, openly take shots.
Because they didn't know about that back then, man.
But did your brain could rattle in the skull?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm guessing they did. They didn't care because boxing back in the day, there was a
He
boxing.
was a young hot shot, man. What you expect? Like when you were young, man, you feel like you're invincible, It doesn't really it doesn't really carry the algorithm or sequence of thought until you had an underlying problem ahead of you.
Yeah, until you go and actually, you know,
Why
try.
is my memory not as good as when I was in my 20s?
I'm still pretty good with my hands. My hands are still fast, thank God.
You?
Yes, sir.
See, you're a teacher, right?
Teacher, student first. Always a student first.
I see.
The minute you think yourself as a teacher first, you start letting
You
your
get
ego
ahead of
go,
yourself?
man.
Yeah. I mean, that's not always a bad thing. I mean, the ego, it works it's really just a defense mechanism, like a processor.
Oh, of course. It helps you through life because it helps you survive. But it also hurts you because it hurts because you emotionally get bruised a lot. You think they're attacking you personally. Everything's attacking you, but it's not. It's not necessarily true. It's your perception.
You know one thing
Yeah,
that I could say?
say it.
Why do you think why do you think people are afraid to be themselves?
They don't like themselves.
Is it because they don't like what they see in the mirror?
I mean, it might be. They don't like themselves. They want to hide themselves through drugs, alcohol, pills, or sex too. Like
You think it's the expectancy of society, or is it comes from like the household they were raised in?
it could be both. Like they have an issue that maybe their parents didn't love them, and they never they were try to find love. Like DMX, for example, bro. I saw this guy on a marriage boot camp. He was crying his eyes out. This guy's the hardest motherfucker in the game, bro. The hardest motherfucker in the game. He was crying his eyes out because his parents didn't love
Now
him.
we have to emasculate him, right? Because he's a
Yeah,
man crying. And he's
yeah.
known and he's known for all the masculinity aspects that we worship and we venerate all the time.
But the
So now
man's
we have to
crying, man. That's
emasculate
a
him.
beautiful thing. You gotta there's a couple ways to get emotions out. You either cry or you do some form of vigorous exercise and get out of breath. That's how you let
Men,
energy out. You know
men
what I
are not
mean?
human. They're not capable of emotions. You know that.
Who?
As far as what we're being sold, men are not human.
Oh, men. Yeah, we should. They have to be tough. But that whole toughness is a facade, man, and it's gonna make you sick because you need to be emotional. You have emotions. You're a human being. So do animals. You know, animals have
And
emotions too.
the more you find yourself being desensitized to emotions, you're gonna carry more. nihilistic, beliefs. Because you're gonna you're
You're
gonna
gonna
think of
end
what
up
it's.
doing a Holocaust, man.
Yeah.
Like Hitler. First of all, Hitler didn't come up with the idea of the Holocaust. It was his one of his officers. His name was Reinhard Heydrich, who came up with the extermination idea. He just wanted to put them in camps. He didn't come up with the idea of murdering them all. You know what I mean?
How do you remember all this?
So I'm a history minor. Shout out to history minors everywhere.
Understood.
Yeah, I have. I kind of have to know it because I that's what I studied in school. So, but it's interesting because people put up with fucking a facade, and I do it too, bro. I mean, I'm a human being. I'm not enlightened by any means. You know, I mean, we all do it. It's just finding a way not to do it, not to
It's
put
like
that
you said,
facade
man. You're
up.
still finding yourself in life. There's nothing wrong with that. And depending on your outlook on what you think is your purpose could be in life is based on your perceptions and the path that you choose to partake in.
Of course, of course. But I mean, I feel like people need to find that, and they don't search for it. They just exist.
We could get the misconception of what we think purpose is. Like a lot of times we overthink what a purpose could be. So it could be a purpose in pertaining to what society wants us to be as well too. Well, it could be something. It could be something that is as simple as leaving something remarkable behind for the world to be able to idolize on. I guess when you think about it,
I would say like a Jesus type character, or like a scientist of some sort, like Einstein.
leave memorabilia behind.
Yeah,
I mean, everything you do is being looked at. It will be looked back on in time as long as you leave something behind. This is why they tell and they preach to you about how time is so precious and valuable nowadays, and how to choose and do what you want with it more wisely.
yeah, but at the same time that they say that, they give you bullshit too. You know what I
Because
mean?
you don't think this is an interesting time to live in because of the rise of opportunity. You don't think so?
Yeah, but every decade's been a rise in opportunity. I mean, look at the '20s, man. With the Industrial Revolution, like it's always been an opportunistic time compared to the past. You know what I mean?
Was well, as far as job corporations, look how many ways that we can
Make money.
receive a yeah. You literally can do anything to make money nowadays. There should be no
Podcasts make money. Shit.
there should be no excuse to why you can't incorporate yourself in how to like implement new beliefs into yourself that how to
And you have to get the belief in the subconscious mind somehow. You know what I mean?
you need things to inspire you as well.
I don't know. Do I am I inspired? I have no idea, to be honest with you. I don't know what inspires me. I just like doing what I'm doing right now.
I find learning interesting. It inspires me at times.
Yeah,
Learning something new at least.
that's the whole thing,
Because there's
man. Coming up with
always
something new.
there's always something that could be learned, even when you're not searching for it. It's the most interesting part. And how you learn that everything is correlated once you start to, dive deeper into learning. You're like, oh, this is related to this. Oh, this is how this began.
Everything's connected. Think about this, man. Everything that you see in front of you that was man-made came from somebody's imagination. Isn't that crazy? Everything.
I've heard
Everything came from the
crazier.
imagination. A lot of it came from drug culture too. The scientists in the 50s were doing LSD.
Psychedelics. That's where these ideas arise from. So interesting.
Yeah, it becomes because they come from altered states of consciousness. So with the shaman culture, shamanistic culture, the same
Altered
thing.
states,
Yeah,
layered levels of consciousness, divine spirits talking to you, your guide sending information of the journey you should be on. There's a lot of enlightened ideas that come to you to boost the creativity.
Yeah,
especially
but
when you're under
it's
substances.
interesting that they come to you at certain times. One, when you need them, and two, when you're just not thinking about anything, and all of a sudden an idea pops in your head.
That's for like artists that come up with new, visual ideas. Like, do you think it would be, you think it's unprofessional if they always have to use a substance just to make them feel more innovative at times?
No, no, it's just something that helps. That helps creativity. It's not a big like people do mushrooms and stuff, and then do art or smoke weed. Like it just helps creativity. There's nothing wrong with it.
All the time?
Well, not all the time. I mean, they're creative without the weed too, but the weed or the mushrooms or the DMT or whatever gives a shot of inspiration.
What about the people that get really codependent on a substance
I
and they
mean,
can't they can't be productive to society by any means
yeah, but
because it takes your
those people are
awareness. It takes
brilliant
your
though, man. Like look at all these comedians that die from drug overdoses. They're brilliant. Chris Farley, Greg Giraldo, they're not productive at all, but they make their comedy is legendary because they're constantly battling something in their minds and they're coming up with all this stuff that normal people don't. You know, I mean, you got to admire it, even though they're on drugs and everything. Like what they do, what they did.
Well, there's a lot of ways that you can get ideas that can pop into your head.
Oh yeah, you don't need substances, but that's just